Right, we will welcome the Bowdoin Polar Bears for our second press conference of the day. We have Lydia Caputi, head coach Adrian Scheibels, and Hannah Graham here. I'll start by addressing you, Coach Scheibels. Tell us a little bit about your season and what it means for you to get to the Final Four here in Rochester, Minnesota.
It's been a wonderful journey with these 14 women this year. It started, week one. We had a great tip-off against some really good competition. I think that just got us started on the right path. I think playing tough competition really has taken us deep into this season, and we couldn't feel more blessed to be here. We're so excited to be part of the Final Four.
Okay, I'll start. For both of you, Hannah and Lydia, you defeated Tufts in your own conference to be here last weekend after having lost them in the conference championship. What was that like to be able to do that, to make it here?
I mean, we also had played them. That was our third time playing them this season. We played them regular season conference play, and we beat them. They kind of handed us a loss, obviously in the conference tournament. I think we were all really fired up to see them again because we knew that we didn't give them our best game, and we knew going in we wanted to win the battle of the boards, and play 40 minutes of Bowdoin basketball because we just didn't do that the 2 weeks before, and I think we were just really focused on us and playing our best basketball, and it just made it so much more fun. And obviously a trip to the Final Four.
I think going off of that, the loss to Tufts in the conference tournament was really a wake-up call for us and kind of a turning point. Really highlighted a lot of some of our weaknesses and stuff that we really had to focus on, which we did, and ended up being great redemption, which brought us to this point.
Coach, I noticed you shaking your head when your players talked about Bowdoin basketball. Can you talk a little bit about what Bowdoin basketball is?
Yeah, I think it starts on the defensive end. We're really just bringing a lot of grit to the defensive side of the game, and so I agree with them that in that second Tufts game we really didn't bring our best effort. They just dominated us on the boards as well. So Bowdoin basketball, to me and I think to all of us, starts with just a gritty performance on the defensive end. But beyond that, it's about being selfless, sharing the basketball offensively, and just bringing a fierce mentality to the floor. And I feel like we've really done that in the NCAA tournament thus far.
Coach, you're talking about your team's defense, which is obviously important, but you are also the only team in the tournament to win every single one of your games by double figures. So what do you think drives that offensive fight?
Yeah, just as I mentioned, it starts with being really selfless. I mean, I think we take great pride in the extra pass. We like to play an up-tempo game and really push the ball up the floor. And we do talk about shot selection, but at the same time we want to play free on offense and give them some opportunities to take those open looks when they have them. So they're just, we have so many weapons. I'm truly blessed as a coach. Every one of our players can really, on any day, be our leading scorer, and that's just such a luxury.
You are one of two NCAA schools in this tournament. What does your conference play do to prepare you for this experience? For all three of you.
You want to take it?
I mean, yeah, I think you look at we have 2 losses this season. Both of them are to NCAA teams. I think that speaks volumes about how great our conference is. You can look at, I mean, I always like to say rankings schmankings, but you can look at rankings and you can see there are NCAA teams up there pretty consistently. We're up there with Tufts and Amherst, and I think that just speaks to, I mean, Coach is talking a lot about defense. I think Tufts and Amherst too, they're tremendous defensive teams, and the other teams in our conference too. We can never go into a weekend, an NCAA weekend, expecting anything other than a really great opponent.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the sort of middle of the pack NCAA teams are great teams who I think would fare well in the NCAA tournament. Middlebury gave us a battle. Wesleyan's a great team. College was just really tough this year. It's a great conference, great coaching, And so I think it really prepares us for postseason play.
Also, with our setup of the conference play is that we play Friday, Saturday, and I think that we might have a tough game on Friday, but we still have to bounce back and play Saturday, and so that is really helpful when we get to this time of year.
You're playing a team that also has a very high scoring average. What have you done to prepare for not only a really good Wartburg team, but an undefeated program?
I think we prepare every day in practice. I think they're actually a lot like us in that they like a high tempo game. They like to shoot the ball when they have their opportunities from behind the arc. They have a nice inside out balance. They're athletic. I think we prepare every day in practice though. And beyond that, we're preparing for this game as we would any other game thus far.
So ladies, how do you do that? You say prepare just like it's any other game. This is the national semifinals. How do you make sure to keep those nerves in check and be able to approach it like it's going to be just another game?
I think the hype of this weekend can really get to you if you don't stay focused. I think Coach does a really good job of refocusing us within practice, and like she said, we are prepared in practice. I know Wartburg likes to shoot the 3-ball, so do we. I have to close out on shooters every day in practice. Lydia does too. We're all closing out on 3-point shooters, which will then help us out, I think, tomorrow evening. And so similar situations, since they are so similar to us, the people I'm practicing against every day are really lending a hand in that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is about finding a balance between being grateful for this extra week to play basketball, but maintaining a focus that we've had for the first 4 months of the season, and our hard work in the preseason too. We've had this mindset all season long, and I think we just know not to lose sight of that, but to also just be super appreciative and grateful for the opportunity to play for another week, because we're one of 4 teams that get to do that, so it's pretty awesome.
This is the second Final Four appearance in school history and the first since 2004. So how does it feel to all 3 of you to bring Bowdoin back to the Final Four?
It's really special. We were just saying that a bunch of our alum are coming, and we've heard from so many of those women on that team that they're cheering for us and rooting for us. So it's great to be back. I mean, I was never there. None of us has ever been there. But for the program, and for our alum, it's really special. Obviously, for us, it's special. For Lydia, it's probably particularly special. She can talk about it, but she grew up in Brunswick and was a huge fan of that. 2014 really hurt their impact on her as a young girl. I think got her to this point in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege of growing up in Brunswick. My dad worked at Bowdoin, so I spent hours on end, and I have since I was 5 shooting around in Morrill. So yesterday, our last practice there was a little sad for me, but I think I could name so many Bowdoin women's basketball players since 2000 when I moved to Brunswick, and they've all, in one way or another, just had a huge impact on me, and the woman that I am now. I think I remember Chance in the gym. No, there's only standing room in the 2004 regional games, Sweet 16, Elite 8. That was such an incredible experience for me as a 9-year-old to watch. And then I didn't get to go to the Final Four. Both my sisters went, my mom went. I had my own game that I needed to focus on. But to be able to now be back here, or not back here, but to get to come here now on my own with my teammates, my coaches, is pretty sweet.
I think that preseason we work really hard together as a unit of 14, and it's really amazing to watch all of our watch speed training and basketball pick up pay off. This is a point we've all been working towards, and now we're finally here together, and that's the best part of this is that I get to experience this with 13 of my best friends who are also my teammates. And additionally, I think that something I just keep focusing on is that I just want 40 more minutes with these seniors because they bring so much to our team, leadership and just poise on the court, and so that's something that's really special for this weekend is that I know I get to play 40 more minutes with my seniors that a lot of other teams don't get to.
Part of this experience is obviously playing basketball, but there's a lot of other things that go into this weekend, community service, social, banquet. How do you let yourselves enjoy that a little bit, but also you talked about being able to focus and bring it back. What are you looking forward to? I know this is one of the first things you're doing today, but what are you kind of looking forward to about that holistic experience of being here?
We're really excited for all of it. I mean, we are, really trying to stay grounded and focused on the fact that we have, a really important game on Friday. However, Bowdoin is it's a school that's really founded on serving the common good. Service is a big part of what we do at Bowdoin. It's a big part of our culture, and so the opportunity to do service work while we're here is really exciting to us. And we're also obviously looking forward to practice and to sort of getting dressed up tonight and celebrating at the banquet.
Definitely, I think the experience to kind of like socialize with other teams is really cool and unique. It's not something we often do. It's like, okay, the other team's going in now, you can't see them. Okay, now it's your turn to enter the gym. And so to kind of talk about like what their teams are like and what their experience has been is going to be unique, although we still have to remember that they are the opponent at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, you could look at this weekend and say, like, we're here to play basketball, of course, like, that's the number one thing, I think, on most of our minds. But I feel like throughout this year, my senior season, I've liked to think of this quote my dad tells me, and it's, attack every day with an enthusiasm unknown to humankind. And I feel like if you're coming into this weekend and you're not ready to soak everything up, you don't really deserve to be here, so, yeah.
Time for one more question, if anyone has one. No, thank you guys. Good luck tomorrow.